All right, welcome to the third episode of Night Out Talk. Today we have Luke Alexander and Petie. Nice.
I have.
Yeah, today we're gonna talk about DJing, music, nightlife, clubs, everything interesting. Yeah, first of all, how about we introduce ourselves a little bit?
Luke, you want to rip it?
You start.
Hi, I'm Petie. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I live in Jersey now. Okay. I started DJing when I was like 13 years old. Off a cruise. I was on a cruise.
13 years old?
Yeah, I was on a cruise and I saw this DJ Eddie Boy on a cruise, and the song at the time was "We No Speak Americano." That was like that was like literally the song that like introduced me into just like loving dance music, whatever. And so I got off the cruise. I bought like a little Newmark mix track, and then from there.
That was my first controller too.
Was it really the Newmark mix track?
I had an NS7 Newmark NS7.
Yeah. Newmark's not around anymore, is it?
Is it? They discontinued it?
I think it's I think just tiny controllers.
Just no one uses it.
Yeah, this thing was like, it got the job done, and I was able to just, figure it all out from there.
Do you need a sound card? I think at some point.
Yeah, you needed a sound card if you wanted a cue.
If
you wanted a cue, yeah. So it was literally just like a USB in, and then I had like a separate sound card where it was just like so much more difficult than it needed to be. And
it took me 3 months to figure out how to make the sound out with the Newmark and sound card in college.
Yeah, because like you probably couldn't just watch like a tutorial or some shit on YouTube like that. And then from there I kind of just like practiced for a year. I started doing like teen nights and stuff. Did teen nights for a few years, and then when I was like 17, I started dabbling into like 21 and over clubs. So like I wasn't even really allowed to be in there. Yeah. And I started doing that. I broke into the city scene. Come like 2017, 2018, 2019, I started DJing at Up and Down. I was at One Oak once a month, Highline Ballroom. There was a club called House, which is now Palace. I was DJing like 5 or 6 times a week. I was doing mostly support, but I would come out.
That's great. Like 5 times a week?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, it was just like, I remember specifically, like, one time Luke told me, he was like, bro, like, you look dead in the face. He's like, you're, like, literally exhausted. And I would have, like, black under my eyes. I would be waking up at, like, 5 p.m. every day.
But don't get it twisted. I was still the asshole with Petie every single day.
Yeah, we
were out every day.
Yeah, it was fun. And then...
it's funny because Petie and I had the exact same uprising at the same time around the same people. That like I was going to the clubs that Petie was, the teen clubs that Petie was DJing at.
How long you know each other for?
Fuck, 15 years.
Yeah,
probably 15 years. Maybe not 15 years, maybe 12, 13. I was 12 or 13 then.
Yeah, I mean, a long ass time.
A long time, yeah.
That's fun. Where did you meet?
Stage 48.
Yeah, Stage 48, Hyperglow with 4B.
Teen Party, 2013.
Right before.
4B was DJing at Teen Party?
Yeah, well, it was Hyperglow was, I don't know if it was all ages. It was an all ages event, so it wasn't really teen, and it was just when, like, that whole EDM kind of sound was like the hottest thing ever, and just they were like everyone was just raging crazy. And
was he playing a Jersey club?
He was playing Jersey club. It was right. I remember he played his song "Bombaclat" for the first time, which is like what he was already always kind of popping, but I feel like as soon as he dropped that "Bombaclat" EP, then like stuff really started taking off, and then like he was doing all the
pop that came out right.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Bobby because I was just texting with him. He's such a good dude. Bobby is such a great guy. He's awesome, man. He's crushing it. He's been able to stay in it, which a lot of DJs can't.
I found him episode like Diplo and Friends.
Oh yeah.
That was the first time I heard Jersey Club. Like, whoa. And then cool I opened for him a couple of times at Marquee and Lavo. Great guy, great music. Every time it's different music. It's great.
Hell yeah.
And that's kind of your journey.
Yeah. So I was doing that open format stuff, like heavy to like 2019, and 2020 obviously happened, and then from there I kind of transitioned into this project called Mime, which was mostly dance music, and I was putting out dance pop tracks. I did a remix for French Montana and DJ Snake and Gashi.
Gashi, yeah.
I forgot the name of the song, but
My Year?
Oh, Creep on Me. It was Creep on Me. And what's crazy is that I was actually in LA a few like weeks before I got the opportunity to make the remix, and I was listening to the radio, and Gashi's originally from Brooklyn. And I heard him on the radio, and I was like, dude, like, what the hell? Like, this guy's, like, popping. Like, he has a track with, like, French Montana DJ Snake on the radio. Like, it was a good track. And then I ended up coming back to New York, and I had, like, a random dinner meeting with, like, Quintino and this guy Austin Kramer was there, who at the time was the head of Spotify Dance Electronic, and he asked me to do this remix, and it was just kind of like a full
official remix.
An official remix, wow. Yeah. It was like a full circle moment because I was like, what are the odds? I was just listening to this track. I was like, I noticed the track on the radio. I was like, oh, this is cool, and then like I get X to do the remix. So that was a mine project. Played at Electric Zoo for 3 years. My first gig as mime was actually in Shanghai, China, at Storm Festival, because I had put out this like Sean Paul bootleg that popped off on SoundCloud randomly, and then like the talent buyer from China just hit me up and she was like, yo, we want to book you out here. And there was literally nobody on the stage. Like, it was like torrential downpouring that day, and the festival opened up like 3 hours late. I was literally DJing to nobody, but it was just sick to go to Shanghai. I was like, oh, I'm in Shanghai.
I'm from China. I was in Shanghai like last summer. It was a great place, right?
Yeah.
Was it like 2017?
2017, yeah. 2017, yeah. It's 2017. What's crazy is that like I couldn't get like for some reason just like none of the cabs wanted to pick me up. So I was literally, I was stranded. Like
Did you go by yourself?
I went with my cousin.
Okay.
It was just like me and my cousin, and then I remember we took the cab from the hotel like into like the town to go get some drinks. And like another crazy story is that we went to go get drinks, right? So we go to this one bar. We get 6 shots, and it was like $20 or something like that. So I was like, oh damn, like this is cheap as hell. Like $20, 6 shots, like this is sick. Whatever, we take the 3 shots each. We walk literally like directly across the street to another bar. We're like, oh, sick. Another 6 shots is gonna be $20. But the bill's like $400 USD. I'm like, nah, there's no way.
Yeah, got scammed?
We got scammed. It was like, there's no way. And I look at the menu, and like it adds up, and I'm like, dude, like this isn't even like Vegas prices, like for 6 shots. And then I later
That's great.
Yeah, I later learned that I guess it's.
Did you pay it?
Yeah, because we were just like,
maybe it's.
Yeah, we were just there, and we weren't gonna argue. Like I didn't know like what could possibly happen. It was the day before I was there to like, play.
This was a couple of thousand Chinese RMB.
Yeah, it was literally all the cash that we had. Like, yeah, it was all the cash that we had. But nonetheless, it was honestly like an amazing time. How we ended up getting back to the hotel after that was we hitched a ride on like this guy's moped. So like we literally just like got on he had like this like basket on the back of his moped, and we just like hitched a ride with him, and we were like, this is where we had a business card that had the hotel on it, because like I didn't realize that like we couldn't just like show them an address on Google, because like for some reason I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it's like a completely different like set of letters.
Chat like this and that, right?
Yeah. Well, no, like a different language, obviously. So it's like, if I would type in the hotel name in Google Maps, like if I would show it to someone, like it wouldn't be legible, So we had this business card, and that's how he was able to bring us back to the hotel. It was an insane story. I have a video somewhere on my Snapchat of just me and him just like on the back of this like thing. The guy's like speeding through like the roads. It was crazy. It was insane. But yeah, it's sick. I love Asia. I think I might be going back to Shanghai in May. So
really?
Yeah.
For a gig?
For a gig, because I'm playing in Tokyo at this club called Baya. I'm there for 2 weeks. I leave May 21st, and then DJ Martin, who's like handling the bookings for me, he's going out to Shanghai to play. So he said that he was gonna like talk to the venues out there, since I'll already be in Asia, to maybe get me.
Yeah. So. Stoon was in Baya he played like 8 gigs.
Yeah, I think he went the
New Year's
maybe
Eve.
like 2, because the last time that I was there was end of November into the first 2 weeks of December. So I think he went right after me, and that's how it works. Yeah, I think it's 8 gigs or 6 gigs, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For
8 gigs in 10 days. That's great. What we talk about is what? How did you play 8 gigs?
Yeah, it was fun though. I mean, dude, it's sick. You get to like know.
Have you been there? I haven't been to Japan.
I've never been to Asia.
You never try to play there?
I want to. Yeah, I really, really want to go to Asia. I've seen
Luso has some big gigs there, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I think that the culture around dance music in Asia and DJs is so cool. Like I've seen, just like there's like real fans.
Yeah, the energy, the festival you played, the energy is. Well,
my stage was empty, but at the time it was like Marshmello was just like popping off at the time, so it was just like, on his stage, the energy was insane. It was crazy. Yeah. But the hospitality was great out there too. Like it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah,
experience.
that's what it looks like. That it seems like everybody's taken so care of, like from an artist.
That was a peak of EDM in China at the time, and later, a couple of years later, like people started listening to Korean kind of bounce music, which is not my type of music, but they were listening to that for a bit, and now it's coming back to EDM.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
See, I never knew that.
What is that? Like what is like
bounce?
Bounce, yeah.
Is it like kind of like Melbourne bounce?
Kind of like that, but more repetitive.
Okay.
No build up, no drop. It just that beat.
Oh no shit.
I can show you later, but you know, they were listening to that for a bit.
No shit.
Yeah. Okay, that was your journey. How about you?
Yeah, so I'm Luke Alexander. I'm born and raised New York City. Currently residing between Las Vegas and Miami, Florida. But I'm not in either city too much. I'm just kind of bouncing around a lot with...
Travel too much.
Yeah, it's, you know, I'm blessed to have a pretty aggressive touring schedule. So, you know, it's all good. It's exhausting, but it's exactly what I dreamed of. I got into this, you know, similar to Petie. I started playing teen clubs and doing the Hyperglow parties. Shout out Brian C. You remember Brian?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I started doing these teen parties and, you know, watching people like Petie and Blaze Vanga. And, you know, then when I was 13, my dad brought me to the Ultra Festival in Miami.
Really?
Yeah, back at the time, it was on an all-age festival.
Oh, okay.
So I dragged him, stayed right there, right in the front. He was right next to me. He hated his life, but you know, thanks, Dad. And I remember watching like Nicky Romero, Swedish House Mafia's last show before they quit. Yeah. And I just fell in love with the idea of becoming a DJ. I mean, I had been playing a little bit, so I got back, and you know, in high school I started taking it really serious. And when I graduated high school, I graduated a year early, so I was 17 when I graduated. I started playing the 21 plus bottle clubs, and
in the city.
Yeah, sneaking into them, fake IDs, and just kind of. Like,
were you playing open format as well?
Yeah, I was doing open
so
format.
Everyone had the same background.
Yeah,
we all started open format and then got tired.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to break in as a EDM DJ, especially if you're like a professional working DJ. It's easy to go into something as like, hey, I make music, and now I'm a DJ. Right. But if you're like, I'm a DJ and now I make music, you almost have to start with open format because there's like
more mainstream, right?
Yeah, which is more commercial. It's hard to just pop into a specific market out of the blue. I mean, it happens, but it's a lot more difficult, especially because at the time, hip hop was the biggest thing in New York.
When was that? When you started playing?
2015.
Yes.
2015, 2016. 2015 was when I really took it serious. 2015, it was like I think it was like the Bobby Shmurda, or maybe that was 2016.
Yeah, that is probably right, I think.
It was around that time, so like that was a huge sound. Because
Drake and Future had an album at the time, right? Around that time.
Yeah. I mean, you had tons of New York rappers blowing up. So you would go to any club and everybody was playing rap. So if you wanted to break into a bottle club, you had to be playing open format. Doesn't mean that you couldn't play the Clarities and the Don't You Worry Childs and everything, but you also had to play the new, you know, Young Ma record or the Bobby Shmurda record as well. And that kind of what got me into how I, you know, where I am today, because I'm known for being super versatile, right? I could walk into a room, I could play hip hop set, I could play an EDM set, I could play a tech house. You
do mix like hip hop like every set.
Yeah, I mean, my dad used to be a hip hop producer. So,
oh really?
He worked with 50 Cent.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so in the early years of 50 Cent.
You drag him to Ultra.
Yeah, well, he also loves dance music.
Okay.
He was a rock and roller who went to hip hop, who had a passion for dance music.
That's awesome.
But it's just like, there's something about like hip hop with EDM that I love, you know, especially on the new tech house tracks. And like there was a genre called G house for a little bit that was really cool. But like, yeah, I think that it's really important as a DJ to play some like either samples or vocals of popular songs that people know. I think it really like
100%.
You know, it really taps in with the crowd and connects with them.
Mm-hmm.
But putting it over a track that they otherwise would not have known, you know, like playing things that they are familiar with, but also on top of a record that they're not familiar with. That's how I think that's a perfect combination, and I try to strive for that as much as possible in my live sets. But yeah, man, I mean, I've been doing this for, I would say professionally, for a living since 2015, and everything started to blow up for me during COVID.
During COVID?
Yeah. So
were you doing like warehouse parties?
Yeah, so that's how I ended up moving to Miami too. So COVID happens. I was in Miami when COVID broke out, playing a bunch of spring break events, and when COVID happened, Ultra was the first one to go, and then Music Week went, and then every club around the world closed, and then I played the last show. I'm convinced it was the last venue open in the world, and it was like 3 weeks into COVID, right? Like everybody else in New York, everybody else was like fully locked down, and I was like playing a rave like crazy set in Miami at a club that doesn't exist anymore, obviously, but I got back to New York, and I played along with the COVID stuff. I played along with the mask, the gloves, the not leaving the house, and then like things just started for me not making sense. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start throwing parties. So we would take these back rooms and warehouses, and obviously you needed to make money. You couldn't just fucking sit like $1,200. We live in New York. At the time, I was still living in New York City.
We are not fucking Red Cross,
dude. My studio apartment cost $3,800 when I was living here. $1,200 did not cover it for me. So I was like, fuck it, I got to start throwing like these COVID raves, these super spreader events they call them. Raves. But yeah, man, we would take back rooms at these restaurants. We'd throw a party, and then we took a ferry here in New York, and the ferry had a nightclub in it, and we would take the ferry all the way out past the Bronx towards like Rikers Island, towards LaGuardia. We'd throw a fucking rave on a boat, and then we get back and we would throw these warehouse parties, and people started to catch on to it, positively, but then also negatively. A lot of people were really bothered by that. They were really, really upset with the fact that I was playing shows during COVID. And we threw this party during Halloween and 2020, 20. Peak COVID, like outskirts, but peak. It was 2020 was peak. And we got the cops go by to one of my buddy's places and was like, hey, we know that Luke's going to do this party. Tell us the details. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And we had done it. I don't want to name the people that I did it with because I don't know if they want to be talked about. But we had planned it so great. You had to go to a food truck. We paid a food truck on the corner. We had to go to a food truck. We sent the text blast out to the food truck, and you had to specifically order one thing, and then you would get the address.
Oh,
and
that's genius.
Yeah, and you could only walk to the venue. There was no way to Uber it. It was around the block. It was like
how many people were we talking about for these parties?
The boat was probably around 500.
Oh shit.
The restaurants were about 100, and then the warehouse was big. That was 800 people. And the second, man, it was the funniest thing. I plug my USB in, everything's smooth sailing. I play the first part of my intro. As my intro is playing, the entire fucking warehouse lights up with flashlights. Cop grabs me on the shoulder. He goes, shut it down. So I get on the mic and I'm like, hey guys, like we have some friends here. Party's done. Sorry. And they confiscated $140,000 worth of gear and liquor inventory, and
140.
Yeah, 140,000, and they
never give you back.
Never gave it back.
Really?
No, never. That was it. That was the end of it. But I got lucky because they thought I was the sound guy who just rented the gear, and they were like, feel bad for you, get out of here.
Oh, you literally, yeah.
So I got in my car and I got the fuck out of there, and the next day I was like, fuck it, I'm moving to Miami. So I moved to Miami, and we, I was living in one of my buddy's places, and about maybe 2 months into it, New Year's Eve 2020, I wanted to play again. So, I hit up this venue and I was like, can I play here? And they're like, yeah, sure. So I started playing, and it was
They were
like,
open?
Yeah, it was supposed to be under COVID regulations,
Gotcha.
Mask on,
Okay.
closed by midnight. And they did a decent job at enforcing that, kind of. And then, sometimes it was 500 people a night. And I played every single night. Like any night that they were open, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I played there. I was not going to let anybody else play. Nobody was standing my way. I would play open to close, And because the club had a midnight curfew, we then ended up taking this warehouse in Miami, and I would play there, and we'd pack out 3,500, 4,000 people.
What?
We booked John Summit. We booked Don Bresky. We booked Gordo. We booked John Summit for a single, in the thousands, but a single-digit 1,000 for 3 shows.
Really? When was this? Like
2021, like right, like early 2021.
He wasn't that big.
No, this was right when Deep End was coming out.
He's still doing accounting.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I played along with him, that night, and then we. It just kind of progressed. COVID ended, and everybody was like, dude, you've been playing, all these sick parties, and so many people were coming to Miami at the time, and I was playing every night of the week, so, so many talent buyers and industry people saw me. And then Dave Grutman noticed me, and, he was like, hey, I'd love for you to headline at Live. And then I got into...
How did he notice you? That's huge.
I think there was just a lot of buzz going on, around with what I was doing in Miami, so... he was like, hey, would you want to headline Live on Saturday? It was like I went on a Tuesday to his house, and he asked me if I wanted to headline that Saturday. And it happened, and it was great. It was Swim Week. It was a Sports Illustrated party, and I played it, and it was...
How's it working with him?
It's great. It's great. His whole team, the whole company is great. He's a great guy, and the whole company, they're so sharp. They're so on point. Mm. But what happened is everybody caught on, and they're like, you've been playing all these great shows during COVID, so I want you to come play our venue in Boston. I want you to play our venue in Dallas.
So they reached out to you?
Yeah. Wow. And then I got a manager, and then I switched from one manager to another manager, and, an agent and everything, and it was...
manager, is it like booking agent?
So I have a manager, and then I have like a agent, but he's also my manager, but he's more of an agent.
What does a manager do?
So so there's 2 guys, right? Jeffrey and Tay, who I'm with. Tay is like, he makes sure that I don't do any stupid shit, but he also does all my live stuff. So he does all my bookings, gets me the gigs, and takes care of all the accounting. Mm. And Jeffrey works with the publishers, the record labels, the vocalists, and production side, right? So Jeffrey handles the music side, while Tay handles me and the live side. So Tay technically is my agent, but he's also my manager.
He tours with you?
No. I tour with Michael Salvatore from Nebula, and whatever people locally that want to step up, and tour manage for the evening. But yeah, I mean, it happened so quick. It really went from everything being closed, illegal parties, running from the cops, to touring around the U.S. And now it's international. I play in Barcelona on Monday. Oh, sure. So it really just...
Past Monday?
No, this
You're going.
Upcoming, yeah.
Wow. How did that happen?
I was laying in bed, and I got a call, and they're like, you want to play in Barcelona? And I was like, yeah. And then that was in September. I was like, when? It's Sunday. They're like, next Monday. I'm like, all right, fine. Let's go. I'll play there. So I booked a flight. I played, crushed it, and they're like, we want you back. So now this is my second time in Barcelona. I played in Amsterdam a couple months ago. That was great too.
What's the scene over there like different than here, or kind of the same music?
In Barcelona, the venue that I played was it's really popular amongst the study abroad kids. So it's kind of like playing an American college club, which is great for me. I enjoy that. With a little splash of international, flavor in it, which is cool because you get to experiment a little bit. And then in Amsterdam, they love dance music. I mean, that city is so incredible, but they like harder shit. I mean, they don't like the same shit. Like the tech house, the underground shit. It doesn't, from what I noticed at least, it doesn't really happen in Amsterdam. At least during ADE when I was there, it's very commercial EDM, dance pop, or really fast techno. Like there wasn't really an in between. Techno. Like hard and like fast. Like I'm not talking like 150, like higher than that.
Like 170.
Yeah, like 170. Like
wait, really?
Yeah, oh yeah, and the girls are fucking like doing the dance.
So I hit model kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean it was really cool, but it was like something I've never experienced before in my life. Also blew my hearing out that night. But yeah, they love like hard style and techno, fast-paced techno. And then they also love the commercial stuff, and I played a great show with Lucas and Steve.
Hey, was you Bass Jackers?
I played the same venue as them. They played the night before. I played the night after. I did the Lucas and Steve party in Amsterdam.
Oh, Lucas and Steve,
yeah. Yang was there. Yang and Michael.
I remember. You all had a good time. It looks like.
Yeah, it was. Amsterdam is a great city. The time zone was an absolute disaster because it's 6 hours ahead or 5 hours ahead, something like that. So at the time, I was coming from Vegas. So I went from Vegas to Amsterdam, which was a 9-hour difference. I would sleep the entire day, wake up at 9 p.m., and then I'd be up till like 7 or 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to bed at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and I'd do that again. So like I didn't do anything during the day, but I was out all night, and I had a great time. That's such an incredible city. Amsterdam is great. It's great. It's fucking amazing.
Amsterdam's dope.
You been?
Yeah.
Sick, right?
Yeah. I feel like during ADE, it's just like the...
Oh, you went to ADE?
Yeah, it's like the European version of Miami Music Week, but it's just like the energy is just so fire. It's just the city's beautiful. I think it's Dutch, but everyone pretty much speaks English there.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Great English too. Like there's no problem where like you speak English to somebody, go what? Like they speak
like German, clear. Germany is like that too, but Spain is a little bit different, I think. Right?
Spain is a little bit different, but you know what's crazy about Spain is what I've noticed is that the taxi drivers speak perfectly clear English.
It's like exact opposite of here.
Yeah, right.
It's like Miami, they don't speak any English.
Yeah. But they speak perfectly crystal clear English, and I would get in the car and I'm like, oh man, like this is gonna be tough, like how the fuck am I gonna communicate? Like, hey, how you doing? Where do you want to go? And I'm like, you speak English? No way,
Damn. So right now you live Vegas and Miami.
Yeah.
Well, how do you deal with the housing? Do you just rent 2 apartments?
No, I have a house in Vegas. I have an apartment in Miami.
And you bought them?
Yeah. Well, one's with my girl. My girl has a place in Vegas, and then I have my place in Miami, and I bounce back and forth between the two. I mean, it's cool. I spend long periods of time that I have off, so like 4 or 5 days, which is long for me. If I have like a Sunday through Friday off and I play Saturday that day, I'll stay in Vegas. But if I'm like playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday on the East Coast, I'll just stay in Miami. And then,
Did you just buy the apartment?
No, I'm renting. I want to wait until I could afford enough of like a down payment for the house that I want, because it's like
you're like looking at the houses.
So we were looking. We found a house that I absolutely loved, and then they wanted like $400,000 down. And I was like, I'll revisit this next year. It's a lot of fucking money down. Yeah, it was a gorgeous home, right on the water on Lake Las Vegas, and. They were like, yeah, because you need to buy the plot of land, and then you need to buy. It's a custom built home, so then you need to buy the supplies to build the home, and then you have to get your mortgage. So it's like a lot of money down in one shot. So we were like, like that's
no rush.
No rush.
And here you just go to hotels or what?
Here, I just stay in hotels here. I love staying in hotels.
Yeah.
If I
do you have the same hotel every time or different?
I have a specific hotel. I like the Nomo Soho for its location. It's right on Broadway and Howard, so I just walk out. You're right in Soho. It's cheap-ish. It's like at the high end, it gets like $400 a night, but it's really like cheap. It's like $250.
Nomo? Is that the one with the I don't know.
It's got the entranceway with all the lights and the.
Yes.
Huh?
It has like the grass.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. It's got the
arch.
The arch.
Yeah.
The arch. Yeah. It's a nice hotel. This time I'm at the Standard, which is...
The roof is like a lounge, right? Was it?
No. That's public, I think.
Oh, that's public.
Yeah. Right? Public's? Yeah, public definitely has a lounge.
Public has one, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm staying at the Standard. It's beautiful. I stayed at the Edition last time. Beautiful. It's so nice because then you get to wake up and you go on with your day and you come back to a totally clean hotel room, and you could wake up and have food brought to your room, and it's.
You must like one hotel too, right? Like from the sound.
Oh yeah. The
wood and stuff.
Yeah, it's great, and obviously the Williamsburg Hotel. Fucking love that place. Yeah, that's my home in New York.
You throw parties there, right?
Yeah, I do the Azure Day Party, which has become quite the sensation. I mean, we've sold it out 6 weeks in advance for the first one.
Really?
Oh yeah, and then the second one is about to sell out, and we do it every Sunday. So I don't play it every Sunday, but it happens every Sunday. Yeah.
From in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer, from April to September through September. Yeah, I mean, Petie played there as well. It's
fun. It's a great party.
It's a great party.
How do you market that party, like to sell it out?
Yeah, so I fell into owning this party this year. I had partners that were doing it. It is kind of an interesting story. So I was booked to play in the Hamptons, and I had a 4-hour window of time that I was in the city. So I was like, I land at noon. I don't have to leave till like 6 or 7 p.m. So I guess it's like 6 or 7 hour window. I'm gonna throw a party in this roof. So I called my friends who ran the Williamsburg Hotel, and I was like, I'm gonna do this party on the roof. Are you guys down? They're like, yeah, let's do it. Called some buddies up, some promoter buddies of mine, and they're like, yeah, let's do it 100%. We threw such a great party, and the content that came out of that one event went viral, and everybody was
Sunset
like,
one, right?
Yeah, and everybody was like, when's the next one? And you're like, you guys want a next one? Like, we could just do this again next Sunday. So then we did it next Sunday. They're like, that was sick. When's the next one? And then we're like, okay, we're just gonna turn this into a weekly. Yeah. So that was 3 years ago.
Was it the Roof the Soul song that you were playing?
Which one?
The clip that went viral?
There were multiple videos that went viral, but it's that.
I was watching one of them. Like, it was really beautiful scene. Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, it's got the best view of New York and the sunset, and the crowd is so fucking beautiful. The crowd there is just so, everybody's so happy, and that's like, it's so different from a nightclub, because like, you go into a nightclub, people are like serious, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, you walk into rooms, right, and it's like there's egos.
Right.
Yeah. There's like, you know, who got in for free, who's got the better table, who spent more money. Like, that doesn't happen on the roof. Oh. The roof, everybody gets treated the same. There's no VIP.
Oh, there's no table in there?
There's tables. There's only like 3 or 4 tables.
Gotcha.
But everybody pays. They don't give a shit if you're a model. They don't give a shit if you're famous. I mean, every single person that comes onto the roof pays. And there's no promoters, which is...
Oh, really?
There's no promoters.
And how many people is the...
900.
And sell it out?
Every week.
Wow.
Yeah. And the reason why that happened was just because of social media.
Yeah.
Just because of social media. So I fell into owning that. The guys that I was doing it with decided to step away. They wanted to go do other projects. Right. And it's a time-consuming thing. So I have a staff now that works on it full-time, and I kind of am just the face of it.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's also great for me to leverage a lot of relationships, too.
Yeah.
You know,
100%,
if you want things out of people, it's really easy to offer them.
Right.
Hey, you know, we'll give you this show, or hey, we could put you on. Can you do something
like an exchange
for me? Right. Yeah. And that's great. And it's also built a lot of connections. I'll book like my friends that I haven't seen from all over the world and be like, hey, you want to play this party, and we'll get them on the roof, and I get to hang out with them and hit the studio with them and work on music with them. So it's such a positive thing in my life, and such a positive thing, I think, for this scene, because it's unlike any other.
I have to check it out. What hours is it, like, from 2 p.m.?
It's 3 to 10. But the peak is really like 5 to 9. 5 to 9. Yeah, it's.
When was the first show?
When is the first show?
Yeah,
April 28th.
28th. Oh, okay, yeah.
2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, it's coming up.
It's coming up. Yeah, sold out.
Are you gonna play that again this summer?
Yeah,
he's gonna play that.
Yeah, 100%. I think we did like two together last year, and it was just sick time. Like, it was amazing. You know, I feel like there's not another venue in New York that's a rooftop that has that exact like view and that like sunset vibe. You know, like there's other rooftop parties, but it's just like that one in specific is. I like how it's like all open. It's like all open air on the sides. It's not like glass, or it's not like a cage or anything like that.
I'm just thinking, like, do people fall into the pool if that many people?
Is it separate? It's separate. Yeah,
oh, okay,
there's a fenced off area, but I don't think. I mean, I think I'm the only person that went into the pool fully clothed. I think, yeah, like
your manager wasn't doing his job.
Yeah, no, I was fucking hammered. It was the last show that I did last year, and I was like walking by the pool with like a whole entourage behind me, and I was like, I've always wanted to do this. Fuck it. So I like dropped my shit, fully clothed, just dove into the pool, like soaking wet pants, shirt wet. I mean, I was staying in the hotel, so I just got to like get in the elevator and go downstairs. But
yeah, day parties are dangerous, man. The last time I played a summer club, I went home without shoes. I couldn't find my shoes.
Dude, there's something about day drinking.
And then I got to play Nebula the same night. I was closing, right? I started drinking like from like 2 p.m.
Oh, man.
Till like 8. And then I was closing that night.
That sucks.
So I went there like at 12 and started drinking all with friends. So by the time I play, I'm already blacked out. I was already blacked out. I think I played a lot of R&B that night.
Yo.
Nebula.
So I played a show in in Nashville, Tennessee at Barstool, which is a great venue.
Barstool.
It's a phenomenal venue. So fun. I played a SantaCon party in New York that morning. Yeah. Got to the airport. All of a sudden, there was like tornado Nashville. Crazy tornado in Nashville. I'm at the airport with Mike Salvatore and my friend John Magna, right? My video guy. And we're like, dude, this flight is 1,000%. The show's going to get canceled. The flight's going to get canceled. We're staying in New York. But until we fully know, let's start drinking. So we already were drinking. So I start drinking this like crazy at the airport. We were taking shots of Casamigos like it's water. And I get on the plane and I keep drinking. I switch to vodka because they don't serve tequila on planes, so I switch to vodka. We're in first class. It's me, Mike, John. It was me, John, Mike. Okay. And I was on the right side. Mike was on the left side window. In the middle, between us, was an old woman. And the entire time, I'm like screaming shit, pissed drunk at Mike. He's screaming shit back at me. The whole plane's trying to sleep. So the plane ended up taking off. The show ended up happening. The tornado, I guess, only affected one area, but not the area. The club was packed. By the time I got to the venue, I was blacked out drunk.
Oh, my God.
I woke up the next day, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, I for sure shit the bed. So I, like, texted the manager of the club, and I was like, hey,
what happened?
Thanks for having me. Like, I hope you guys enjoyed. And she was like, oh, my God, that was the best set I've ever heard in my life. Shit. That was the best. Everybody was loving it. I was like, ha, ha, ha. Like, do you know what I played by any chance? They're like, what do you mean? You played everything. I was like, fuck, I don't know what I played. And to this day, I've seen videos of me DJing, and I'm, like, listening to tracks that I've never heard of in my life, of me playing, and I'm like, what is this song? I mean, and then there was videos that popped up, and I was smoking weed inside of a mall at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like,
I didn't even know they were open that early.
They're not. Dude, it was closed. You know, it was like fucking so bizarre. But, you know, that was a time that I blacked out, and I guess I did really good. And there's been a few occasions where, like, the drunker I get, the better I play.
That's how it goes, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I can do autopilot, but sometimes
yeah, right.
Like, Nebula, you can't play R&B for, like, 30 minutes. I was playing Chris Brown, Neo, Rihanna. It's just, like, the manager just kept coming to Johnny, play your usual stuff, like house, techno, whatever you want. Just
you got in your feels, huh?
Yeah.
You got in the bag.
Yeah, shit. And then that's the last time I closed. Going forward, I'm not gonna risk it. Just open, go there and drink after. You know?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. Closing's it's a tough job to hold a room. Yeah. Opening's also very difficult.
Yeah, I feel like I'd rather open than close, especially if it's like after a big headliner and like the crowds are, because there's some parties where it's like no matter how good of a closer you are, as soon as the headliner gets off, like 90% of the people are just gonna leave anyway because they just wanted to come see the DJ.
Yeah,
but
the first track is super important, like, from my experience. Like, you got to keep the same energy, or like, even more maybe.
Yep. Like, yeah, you have to go out swinging.
Yeah, we see some closer just come on, and like last night. The DJ was playing like 140 BPM the last song, and then he started with like 124 tech house. It's a good track, but you can see the drop in energy.
Yeah. I think what you just said is such a key point. I played with Troy Boy at Live 2 weeks ago. Troy Boy plays trap. Yeah. I don't play trap. Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna play? And the artist liaison, who I'm friends with, she comes up to me and she's like, how are you gonna go? Like, what are you gonna? Right. I'm curious to see what you're gonna do after this. So I go and, you know, I go into Petie's crate and I play All I Do Is Win as my first track. So right off the rip, keeps the same BPM, All I Do Is Win into No Hands. Yep. And then I went all the way back to EDM. I did it backwards. Instead of going EDM and then hip hop in the middle of my set like I usually do, I started off with the hip hop, then went into the remixes. Then I started playing hip hop, went to EDM and ended up at Tech House. Then I was playing Afro House. And I held the room till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Everybody. I held maybe the club was, you know, I'd say like pretty packed, and then by like 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe 60% of the club was still there, 50% of the club was still there, which is really tough to do, especially in Miami where like so many other parties start at 5 a.m. like Space and 11. You know, like that's when it gets good. But yeah, man, it was. I was actually one of my favorite sets, and I wish I recorded it, and all my friends left at that point, so I was totally alone.
Do you record a set every time?
No, I never record my sets,
okay. But you have a videographer with you?
Yeah, the video, we got videos and photos.
Is it every gig you bring someone?
There's some clubs that are just not worth content, you know? Like one of the open format venues that you and I play, you know, no need to name them, but you know which one I'm talking about. Like, there's no need. Like, what do you do? Show like, this is a really dark room, you know, and here's me playing fucking Chris Brown remix, you know? It's like not worth it. But the big shows, the cool shows. I mean, it's really, I think DJs nowadays struggle because they focus so much on what they want to play rather than what they need to play. And I think the perfect balance is giving the crowd what they want and what they didn't know that they wanted. True. You know, and it's tough to find that balance because I see a lot of people kind of open up with their sets and they have a set list and they stick to that set list. They don't get off of it. It doesn't work. You know that you're an open format guy originally. Right. You're an open format guy originally. We're all house music guys now. Yeah. But you know if you're playing a room and you're looking around and it's not sticking, that doesn't mean stick with it. That means switch it the fuck up. And if you don't want to switch it up, then this isn't made for you. You lose the room. Yeah. You lose the room, right. And then the club's not going to book you. You need to be versatile. And that's really, I get it. Hip-hop's not easy. It's a very difficult genre to spin. I hate spinning hip-hop. I enjoy it. I think it's really fun. But from a technical standpoint, it's very difficult.
Quicker transitions, different BPMs, lyrics, and you got to consider different artists, different genres.
Yeah. And you know, the BPMs, like you said, they're all over the place. You have a high energy at 100, and then you have a slow energy at 100 BPM, and then you have a high energy at 50, and then you have a slow energy at 50. It's like you are going from 100 to 150 to 130 to 75. You're like all over the place with hip hop, and to make it sound cohesive the way Petie does and the way a lot of these, you know, other New York hip hop DJs or Miami hip hop DJs do is so incredible. But I think it's really important for DJs to get out of their comfort zone, and until you're known and people are buying tickets to specifically see what you're gonna do, you need to be able to play everything. You need to be able to be adaptive. You got to piece the crowd
first, and then build your name, and then you gotta earn it, right?
Yeah.
But now you earn it.
Now I get to play whatever the fuck I want. I'll go in there and play I Write Sins Not Tragedies. And people are like,
I mean, it goes off.
And it goes off. It goes off every time.
But so you blow up during COVID, throwing parties, and then after that, everything just got much easier.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was always throwing parties back in the day. I was throwing college parties. Yeah. I think that, for me, what it was is a lot of these promoters, right? I'm not talking about like bottle club promoters. Right. I mean like the big event producers. They won't pay you well, right? My parents don't support me, right? And they never did when I was, turned 18. Right. That was the end of my parental financial support. Right. I had to make money. Getting $150 to go play at a Highline Ballroom on a Friday night is not going to help me, right? I couldn't get 1,500. I couldn't get to the 1,000 rate at that point. Right. It's just, relatively new. Yep. But at the same time, like, I needed money. So I started throwing my own parties. That doesn't mean that I'm an event producer. That means that I'm smart and not going to fall under this fucking umbrella that all these promoters. And the other thing is there's like a thing about New York promoters. They love to keep people in New York. They don't like for people. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
Oh, yeah. It's like Monopoly.
Yeah. They don't want DJs. They don't want their DJs to pop off, because then they stop selling tickets for them. They get more expensive. They get, other opportunities. Gotcha. They don't want that. They want you to bring their tables and bring their ticket sales, and that's it. And it's really tough. Yeah, they restrain you, right? Gotcha. So for me, I wasn't producing music at the time, so my leverage was like, okay, I want to play in, Tampa, Florida. I'm going to throw a show in Tampa, Florida, and I take the risk. But I was really good at selling tickets, and I still, am really good at selling tickets. So I built up a following in Tampa, and I sold that event out. And then I would do it in Long Island. I would do it in Syracuse. I would do it in, all these different cities. And then, we did it for a while. And then, COVID happened, and I stopped throwing college parties because I grew out of it maybe a year before that. Yeah. So COVID happened. I was 23. And, I left that stuff aside, and I just went full only DJing, and then fell back into owning this rooftop party.
Yeah, I'm curious, how do you approach selling tickets, like in a different city? It's tough.
I mean, it's you got to build a following. What I would do is I would follow the most influential people in those towns, and I'd be like, hey, like, I'm gonna throw this party. Do you want to come? And like, maybe bring your friends. And they're like, yeah, like, I'll give you $100. You post a flyer, and then they post it, and then like 10 more of their people come, and then they post it, and then it kind of like spread. And
Basically, like leverage other people's following in the city.
A lot of that. Yeah, a lot of that. And also, it's just like you have to be smart. You have to find the right room. You have to find the right opportunity, the right date, and then you brand it. We would do branded parties. You know, it would just be like
a theme.
Yeah, like a Jersey party or whatever. Because it's college, it's totally different than what it is today. But that helped because it established a base following in every market, like Philadelphia, Tampa, whatever. That grew. You know, it spreads, and then I would continue to revisit it, and then venues would be like, "Hey, we saw you did that awesome party at, you know, X club in whatever city. You know, we own another bar. We'll pay you to play at our venue. We love what you did," and that's really what happened.
Now, if a venue just did they DM you or go to a management?
They go to my management. I mean, I have personal relationships with a lot of the owners and the talent buyers, so like, you know, we're in group chats together, but my agent handles all the bookings and everything. And
how does that work? Like, does he just negotiate the pay, the logistics, and the dates?
Yeah, everything.
Does he go through you on some stuff?
Yeah, so he handles getting the shows, getting the money, which is a pain in the ass. As you guys both know, getting paid in this industry is a nightmare.
Yeah,
you know?
It can take months sometimes.
Months, yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but you know,
if you're getting paid, you're winning. Like in general.
Like,
you know, if they're actually paying you, then you already won.
I had a conversation with an exterminator because I had a cockroach problem in the house in Vegas, so we called an exterminator. And I guess Vegas in general just has like a bad bug problem. And the exterminator is standing there and he's waiting for whatever the fuck. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, just out of curiosity, how did you get into like the exterminator? Like, did you just wake up one day and you're like, I want to kill bugs for a living? Like, how did that happen? He's like, no, I was a guitar player.
Oh shit.
And I was like, no shit, I'm a musician too. I'm a DJ. He's like, well, that's great, you know, that you're doing this because you made it as a musician when you get paid. He's like, I wasn't making money, you know what I mean? Like, and I had to become an exterminator because there was no way for me to make money. And I think what Petie just said nailed it. It's if you're making money in the music industry, you won. Like, that's great. You know, it's not easy to get paid. It's not easy to get paid.
Yeah, most DJs have had a day job like me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, students said it very well. Like, DJing music was art until you want to get paid. It's all business afterwards. Yeah. That's why I like Nebula. It pays so fast, like
right away.
Yeah. And some clubs like it take 3 months.
Yeah. I mean, I just got paid. I played a gig in January last year, and I just got paid, I think, in September. I was like, I forgot about the money at that point. But my manager, which is why it's really important to have an agent, fucking every week was like, "Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money?" You know. And even though it wasn't a substantial amount of money that was going to change my life, you know, 7 months go by and you're like, forget about it. But it's still your money. Yeah. You worked your ass off for it. But, you know, things happen. And the other thing is like, I had the check got lost in the mail.
Oh, yeah. We're waiting on the club to pay out their bar bill, whatever, you know, so we could pay you. Just, you know, these promoters pretty much have every excuse that you could possibly think of, you know, on why they can't pay your invoice. That's just really what it is.
And you go through an LLC for all the payments that your manager manages.
Yeah. So it goes through them. So my agency pays for my flights. They pay for my hotel.
Oh.
Well, the clubs usually pay for the hotel, but they pay for my flights and my expenses on their end, and then I receive the profit. So I receive the net.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wait, so when you travel to different cities, do they have a budget for the hotel travel?
Yeah, usually so travel comes out of me. Usually, ground transportation and the hotel come out of the club. So the club pays directly. They're like, hey, here's your driver. Or if they don't have a driver, they don't use a car service. They most of the corporate venues use casinos, big companies, they have car service. Independent venues, they often just will like add on an extra $200 to your fee as a ground buyout. Sure. But hotels are always covered. You know.
Kavoo. Do you play at Kavoo, Boston?
Yeah, love that room.
Yeah.
You played there?
I played there once.
Did they put you in a hotel?
Yes.
Great hotel, right? The Langham. They put you at the Langham or the Lennox? There's 2 hotels that they use.
God.
It's like the Langham is what they usually book me at.
I've stayed at the Langham myself before.
In Boston? Stunning
Boston,
hotel. Boston. Like by far the best hotel I've stayed in on the road. Like,
really?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, the addition's very good. The addition's great too. But the Langham Boston has the best chicken nuggets I've ever had in my life. Every time I'm there, right before my show, I'm like, they're like, "Hi, let's go do a big dinner." I'm like, "Yeah, hold on, my room service about to get here," and I have like my chocolate chip cookies, my French fries, and my chicken fingers, and plain pasta.
Are they better than the SLS chicken tenders though? Those are like 10 out of 10.
Those are
the best ones I've ever had in my whole life. Have you ever had the chicken tenders from SLS?
No.
Insane.
I think more clubs need
to
that.
Hyde Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You played there like recently, right? Did you?
Yeah, I play there often. I have a residency there. Oh, it's not really a residency. I frequent that room. Okay. You know, it's not like an exclusive residency.
Every 2 months.
I play there once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what's really cool about that is that I also have like a residency frequency at there as well. So
is it a beach club too?
No, it is, and then I have a nightclub. So what I'll do is, I'll do Hyde during the day, and I'll play Dare at night. And then I'll do Dare during the day, and then I'll run to the airport, and I'll play New York at night. So, like, I never just play a day club and then nothing at night. It's always 2 shows on one day if I have a day club, or if not, it's just nightclub.
But in Miami, do you have, like, non-compete issues, like these venues?
Only if the shows are close together. So I give everything, like, a month break. So, like, for Hyde and Dare, they're 2 different cities. Dare's in Fort Lauderdale, so it's about 40 miles away, so it's not a competition. People from Miami don't really go to Dare. People from Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, West Palm Beach.
Different.
You know, it's a different market, right? And then if I play Live, I won't play anything in Miami, you know, for that month. If I play Hyde, I won't touch anything.
Do you verbally communicate, or is it in a contract a month?
It depends on the venue and the relationship you have. Usually it's like if they're gonna go that far, it's usually in a contract. But I mean, you and I were having a discussion earlier. Right. A lot of venues here in New York are trying to do that too. And, and I think the fact of the matter is what it comes down to is like either pay up or move out of the way. Because like if you want an exclusive with an artist, you have to be able to meet their demands on dates, meet their demands on fee, and be available to them. And you know, there's a lot of clubs that just, you know, not anyone in specific, but there's a lot of clubs that like will be like, hey, we want you to only play our venue. And then it's like, okay, like I need this amount of money, I need this many dates. And they're like, that doesn't work for us. Or, well, that doesn't work for me, you know? Because you can't sit out of a market for too long. You know, you can't just not play a market unless you're intentionally doing it to build anticipation. So like, if Petie or I are going to drop a massive record and the record's going viral, then yeah, you could hold off on not playing in San Diego because you're planning to go there and do like a big hard ticket show. That makes sense. But you can't just be like, as a club DJ, I'm not going to play San Diego for the next 3 months. You know what I mean? That's not how you grow. You can't sit out for 3 months, come back, and expect to have the same pull you did 3 months ago. You know what I mean? Unless you did something to specifically grow in that market. But you really need to be, you know, and other people. There's different business models, right?
True.
You can do the specific hard ticket touring, which is not what I do at the moment. It's what I want to do, but it's right now. I play often. You know, I like to play a lot. I like to play, you know, as much as I can, and I love playing, and I love, you know, this is what I do for a living. Well, there's other people, you know, that will do a block out of 2 months and tour during those 2 months. And the next 10 months of the year, they're in the studio, they're working on other things.
The big artists.
Big artists, right. You know, like that's kind of how it goes. That's a business model where you're not playing any show that comes to you. You're only playing your tour shows. You know what I mean? You're not going to do a random date at, you know, San Diego club or you know, Santa Barbara club.
I just went to San Diego like 2 months ago. Do you know a place called Pacific Beach?
I heard of it. Yeah.
It was crazy. I was with my parents, and it was like a Sunday night. They fell asleep. They were like, let me go to a bar, and then I just drove and heard loud music on Sunday night. I didn't know anything about that place, and I just went in. It was like one of the best parties I've ever been. Like the energy was so good. I think it's close to UCSD, so a lot of like college kids with good energy, and the DJ was doing such a great job. House music. Awesome. He was playing like Dom Dalla, like the stuff we could have played. I was surprised.
Nice.
I didn't know anything about that place, and it became one of the best parties I've ever been.
Wow. No shit. I gotta check it out.
Pacific Beach, and then later I learned that they're famous for the scene. The scene it has been around for a long time.
No shit. I gotta check it out. Yeah, I haven't been to San Diego.
Yeah, it's on a roof. Great energy. The people are actually dancing, like you said, like maybe like your party.
Yeah,
visual, right?
They're into it.
People are dancing, and DJ was doing such a good job. It was amazing on Sunday night.
That's great.
You know.
Awesome.
Maybe there's just something about like Sunday parties that is just like the energy is just different on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know? Sundays are good, you know, because I mean, I don't know. Not to shit on what I do for a living, but like, if I wasn't working, I'm not going out. Are you going out?
Nah.
Are you going out?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Yeah. I'm not. I'm going to bed. I smoke my weed. I go to sleep.
But, do you do summer club? Are you going to do summer club?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I love that room. That's a fun spot. I love day parties.
Yeah.
Staying out
for summer club, I feel like the layout. I don't know. Like you cannot see half the people by the pool.
Yeah.
Right.
The DJ booth was different though, right? I would think when it was Profundo,
it was facing
it was facing.
No,
the
it was
pool.
in the middle where that walkway is now.
Yeah.
The DJ booth was there. I think it switched. It might have alternated, but it was in the middle of both rooms.
I feel like it's
be
better now where it is than it was before, but I still think the positioning might be like a little bit.
I think for
awkward.
big headliner events, it's the perfect layout because they clear the lawn chairs and the beach chairs out of the way, and it's just like a huge lot, and everybody forms center.
They have some big artists this year. I was just looking at the lineup.
Yeah, I was just looking at the lineup as well with.
It's like G-Eazy, Cream.
Yeah, they have Cream, San Holo. They got a bunch of great acts. They got me. Yeah, me a few times.
I gotta be careful with summer club, man. Like if I go there, I cannot have a night. Yeah, I need to DJ.
Yeah,
I gotta kill the whole day. Like if I drink from 2 p.m., I'm not DJing at like 1.
It's like the nap that you take after day drinking. I feel like just determines
if you wake up from that nap.
Gonna go, and it's usually like the shittiest nap of all time too. Like I mean, it's just like
your ears are ringing.
You wake up, you're just like
dehydrated.
Oh my gosh.
I've dragged him on a bender with me. We did.
We did
Orlando, Penn State, New York.
Yeah.
One weekend.
Yeah.
I remember he looked at the camera. And my buddy John was filming, a little recap. He looks at the camera and goes, "I'm fucking dehydrated."
Bro, how'd you deal with hangover?
You usually just ride it out.
Man the fuck up.
Yeah, usually just ride it out. There's I think like Anthony Bourdain said, you drink like a Coca-Cola, get some like Szechuan food, and smoke a joint, and like that just fixes the hangover.
Yeah, I started trying some like the pill that you take before you
charcoal.
Drink. No, it's my buddy's brand called Super Recovery or something like that. They just put a bunch of stuff that can cure hangover, and it works. I'll send you the product. You just take it before you drink, and then the next day you feel fine.
Really?
I can black eye and still feel fine.
That's pretty sick.
It's something. It's liver support.
The thing that fucks me up the most is when I wake up. So I'll play a Friday night, and then I gotta wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and gotta get on a plane back to Miami. Right, hungover as a motherfucker, back to Miami to play at day club, and the sun's beating down on you, and it's 90 fucking degrees outside. You haven't ate shit all day because you're nauseous because you're hungover. You're fucking dehydrated. It's 90 degrees outside. You're sweating bullets. It's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. But then you start drinking again, like during that set. I'm ready. So what are we doing?
That's how you cure a drink again.
How it goes. You usually just gotta like keep drinking through it. Just keep drinking through the weekend.
Especially if you manage to wake up drunk the next morning. Like you ever wake up and you're still drunk from the next
morning? So literally when we went on that bender, I think like we just.
So I think I'm still drunk from last night. I went home at 7 a.m. I don't know what happened.
Oh man,
dude, I can't remember the last time I blacked out. Honestly.
Yeah.
Really? It's been so long. Yeah. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't go as much right now?
Not as much as I used to. Yeah, I used to just go hard as hell. Honestly, once I got a girlfriend, I kind of settled down.
Okay, that makes more sense. So you were playing One Oak Up and Down?
Yeah, back in 2017. So there was this guy Shim who does Tuesday Baby Tuesday.
Oh yeah, Shim. Yeah.
So Shim used to do a party at House, which is Palace now, and he had me opening up there for the headliner DJs. I was kind of just like getting in the scene. I was like bringing the girls out, and like he was really liking me. And I texted him one day, and I was like, I really want to DJ at Up and Down. Like, what could we do? And he replied back. He was like, I already have my like set of DJs for Tuesday Baby Tuesday. Like, it really doesn't change, So I was like, damn, all right, whatever, it is what it is. Then I get like I remember I'm in the shower and like I see a call from him.
Wow.
And it was like it was on a Tuesday. And I'm like, what are the odds he's like asking me to like play? And he's like, yo, like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. And he's like, oh, you want to like come play like Tuesday, Baby Tuesday. So I was like, all right, sure. So he had me play downstairs in the basement. And what I really liked about that room and what I liked about Shim as a promoter is that I feel like he kind of taught me a lot about like specific genres of music to play that are like unconventional. Like, you know, downstairs at Up and Down, we would play like disco and just like freestyle and like old like hip hop, R&B stuff, like not the typical open format stuff. Right. So it was cool. Like I got to just, you know, play like all these different kinds of music, and every week he would send me like just, you know, like a playlist and be like, yo, like check out the songs on this, like you know, see like you know, like just like learn like, you know, a little bit more.
Shim has texted me before and he's like, yo, I came to watch your set last. He won't even tell me that he's coming. He'll just show up and he's like, hey, I watched your set last night. Can you send me this song, this song, this song?
Yeah, he's good. He's so on his music and like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's super like. He knows like, you know, he knows a lot of records that work in the club that like you wouldn't even know would work in the club. You know,
Tuesday, Baby Tuesday.
They're doing that at Nebula now.
Yeah, so I played there the first time in the basement, and then he was just like, all right, now you're on every week, and like for like 2 years straight, he just, you know, I played that downstairs room.
And I went every Tuesday.
Yeah, and it was fun.
He loves like fix DJs, right? Like the same DJs playing his party.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what I noticed.
Which I really respect, because it's just like, you know, a lot of like the. Yeah, there's a loyalty, and then I feel like a lot of the open format promoters, they really don't care about the music. They care about like what guy's gonna come and like, you know, bring the bottle client, or what guy's gonna come and bring like 40 people on the guest list. And it's like, of course that obviously is still very important, but I think when like a promoter actually cares about the actual vibe of the room and the music, like it just creates a longevity for the party. And I think that's why like after 20 something years, that party's still going on, because it's just like, you know, there's you know, a certain care to the way the room is set up on the music end.
Yeah.
But do you happen to know a guy called DJ Even Steve?
No.
No? Okay, he used to live in, I don't know, Mississippi, something like that? I don't know. But he just moved to New York. He's one of the most talented open format DJ I've seen.
Even Steve?
Yeah, I can play a clip. He does a lot of like tone play.
I think that's so cool.
The tone play stuff?
Tone play stuff, wordplay shit.
Let me just.
I wish it was more creative for wordplay shit. Wordplay shit is fucking sick.
Yeah, I'm trying to have him play a lot more in New York, because he's actually talented. And then every time I heard his set, it was like crazy.
Wow. My favorite open format DJ's got to be Big Ben. Like
Big Ben is great.
He's just so fire. Like just the mic work and everything. Wow, that's sick.
He has a bunch of these. I gotta check him out. I want him to play like Baby Tuesday, Baby. I can't even Shim.
See, that's what CDJs need.
Yeah. That's sick. That's
yeah. He's actually talented. I heard him on Club Club Killers radio once.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Because I used to listen to those
you know what I always thought was super fucking interesting?
Yeah.
You realize how gatekept DJ pools are? Like, when you started, it took me like a solid 7 years to figure out what a DJ pool was. Oh, yeah. Like, nobody told me when I started DJing, like, hey, don't worry about iTunes and don't worry about Beatport. Like, you could just pay this $50 subscription to get every song you want. I had no
7
idea.
years?
It took me a long... No, dude, I probably learned about it, I would say 2000 and... I started DJing in 8th grade, you know, for fun. I probably found out about DJ pools in 2019.
Okay,
honestly.
it took me like a couple of years too.
Yeah,
that's when, because I was downloading like free stuff on YouTube.
Ripping YouTube to MP3.
And then that shit, that just doesn't work in clubs, right?
That sounds like shit.
And then I had to redo all my library, and then that's how where do people get music? Record pool, Beatport. And then I started trying different record pools. Which one do you guys use?
I first used DJ City.
Okay.
DJ City is great for open format.
DJ City is great. Headliner Music Club is good. Honestly, some of the edits on there, like, you know, they're not for me.
Could we talk about this for a second? I go through some of the shittiest edits.
It's the shitty. It's like
I sit there.
It's
and
out of key, and I'm just like, what? Like, who thought?
Who's
approving?
And
this?
who approved it? Yeah.
Who's approving this?
Is there a lack of like self-awareness? You're like, wait, this is out of key and it sounds like shit. You know what I mean? Like, and the amount of corny, like super bass, X Fisher. Like, who the fuck is playing that? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck is playing a super bass fucking Fisher at it? You know, and unfortunately, I have to click through them. You have to click through them.
And maybe there's one that works, right?
Sometimes you just find a gem in it, you know what I mean? Every now and then you'll find. You got to just, it's like picking the needle through a haystack. You know,
I think that
to all them.
Headliner's great. I think Digital Music Pool is great. And Zip DJ is great.
I never heard Zip DJs.
But there are some other sites that we all know. Zip DJ is really good. But Zip DJ does not have edits. It's just straight house music and underground and EDM.
That's sick. I didn't even, that's
no
sick.
Edits.
Do you know like a live DJ service?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
I think that's the best for house and edits.
I gotta check it out.
It's I can give you my login, right?
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
we should share this.
Yeah, I'll give you mine too.
No, I try everything. I Headliner, this and that, but that one has the sickest edit. Do you know DJ Benzi?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He owns that thing. He was like, one of the best producers. He has like great mixes on SoundCloud and stuff, and most of the stuff on there, like they're actually good. The edits and a lot of house and hip hop too. Acapellas, they have acapellas. Check it out.
Yeah,
great edits.
Like Heavy Hits is really dope too because you could get like the old hip hop stuff, like real throwback stuff, like intro, outro, edit, clean, dirty. Like you could get like disco music. Right. You could get like Frank Sinatra, like private party stuff. Like, literally, and that's just like the iTunes of like record pools, which like you could just get anything on there. True. Which is sick.
Also, like most record pools they delete the old music, right?
I think probably.
Yeah, they do, right?
Servers, right?
But live DJ servers can go back to 2012. That's the earliest.
That's sick.
They keep everything.
Oh, that's sick.
BPM Supreme did a great rebrand. There's a building, Ultra Music Festival obviously takes place in downtown Miami. There's an abandoned building with a massive billboard, right? And they had a huge billboard, so in all the DJs' pictures from main stage, there's a billboard and it says, "We're with the DJ, BPM Music."
That's genius.
Dude, it was so genius. And on every bus stop in Miami, you see BPM Music. So I think that now finally, record pools are trying to... Yeah. Here's where we're at, right? Everybody wants to be a fucking DJ. You know what I mean? Every single person from any corner of the world wants to be DJ. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's so many things that are not easily understood, like intro outro edits or music theory and key and different changes and how to change energy between tracks. And I think people think it's just beat matching, and DJing goes so much more beyond beat matching. And I think that also the really tough thing is getting music.
That's
really hard.
A full library of music. That's like everything. Like you want to play good music first, you gotta have good music, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's why I offer my students can go from zero to like a club gig in 2-3 months because I share my music library, with all the cue points, all the playlists that they don't have to take years.
That's huge
to do that, right? That's why they can just use my music as a base, and I will tell them the record pool, this and that.
Also, this is a heads up to everybody watching: back up your laptops because if you lose that shit, you're fucked.
True,
dude. To myself too. That's a reminder to myself too. I have to back my shit up. I was thinking about it today. I go, dude, if I didn't have a backup of it and my laptop got stolen or broke, my career is fucked. Like, it's going to take me years to get that music 100%. Back, And
hey, I just noticed, like, Rekordbox has, like, a cloud storage right now.
No shit, does it?
That's sick. I didn't
know that.
I haven't tried it, but maybe we should spend that $40 a month.
Yeah.
Totally worth it, I think.
Yeah, because, you lose your library. It's taken years for me to make my library.
Yes, like, that's the whole, like,
and that's what separates us from other DJs is, especially
Sorry, I was saying you got 5 minutes.
Oh, can we do extended?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we'll just keep going
then. I think that, it's really cool to see these DJs, a lot of the older ones especially, they'll play records from like 10 years ago that I haven't heard in so long, and I'm like, whoa, like this just brought me back. And I think that that's such an important thing to have in your sets is like to incorporate a throwback.
Yes.
Nothing makes a crowd go crazier than a throwback. You know what I mean? Like you can play the hottest records, but you play something from 10 years ago.
That's why I should play fucking more R&B.
Yeah, right? But even if it's like, fucking take the R&B, throw it over a tech house track, make edits, there's so many things that you could do to stay fresh and also interesting. Yeah. It's just, I think that a lot of shit is gatekept. I remember when I started, I asked this fucking asshole fucking asshole DJ to introduce me to some of these venues. And he wrote back and he was like, are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not going to introduce you to anybody. He ended up opening up for me 2 years ago. Yeah, he's a real piece of shit. And then he blocked me on Instagram.
The perfect full circle moment.
Yeah, full circle. And then there was, you and I had an issue with.
We had another full circle moment.
We had another full circle.
We won't mention the name, but it's just a funny story.
So I played at Highline Ballroom, and this grumpy old DJ who hated the fact that I was 18, 19, 21, I don't remember how old. No, fucking, I was young.
Young, yeah.
I was like 18. Yeah, can I? I'll grab one later. I was 18, 19 years old. I was playing Highline Ballroom, and this grumpy DJ was really, really mad that I was playing that room. So he goes up behind, and at the time there was tables on the stage. It was a proper stage. There was tables on the stage, and all the power was into a power strip, which went to a, extension cord, which went underneath the carpet into the wall on the back of the stage where there's tables where he was standing. He walked over and he unplugged the whole fucking thing.
That's nuts.
And
the fuck?
Yeah, and
was he drunk or just
no,
mad?
he was a fucking dick. He's a fucking dick. And I think it must have been within the same month, you had an issue with him.
Yeah. So I was playing at Gilded Lily, right? And I was opening up, and that at the time that Drake track came out, I forgot the name, but it was like, "Well, you got to fight with me at Cheesecake." You know the one where Ray says that.
Yeah.
So I remember the promoter at the time. I was playing some, my typical opening R&B set, and the promoter texted me. He's like, play something new shit. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna slam this Drake record in. So I played it and it went off, of course. I should have known better, but I was still kind of in my early years of opening up. And this guy just comes up to me and just, starts bugging out, just pushes me. Luke gets up in there with got in his face quickly. And then that was that. He ended up hopping on, and then he made a tweet, the next day. And he was like, I just bitched out this pussy DJ at the club. He was burning all the records, and he's like, I showed him, he was shaking, none of this was true,
I'm pretty sure he was shaking. I think I was in his face trying to fight him.
Maybe I could have been shaking. Well, whatever, this is a grown man. I'm there 20 years old, 21 years old, I'm just in the scene, whatever. Nonetheless, fast forward to a few weeks ago, I dropped this track called Hypnosis, and Dombresky played it at Lollapalooza. So he actually, Dombresky posted himself playing my track on Lollapalooza on his Instagram page, and then I'm reading through the comments, and sure enough, this DJ comments and goes, "What track is this?" I want it. So I reply back, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's mine." Hey, that's me. But I don't even know if he put two and two together that it was just the same guy. But it was just full circle moment. It was just
that's huge. Dombresky play our track.
Yeah, it was cool. It was super.
How did you get into producing?
Just 2015. I just started dabbling in Logic. My cousin Pete would always, produce on Reason, just hip hop beats and stuff. And for years and years, he was like, "You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this." And I was like, I'll learn. I was more just focused on just being a format DJ. I really didn't care to make house music and stuff. But then eventually I grew to realize how important it is to actually have your own sound, and you could only really get so far.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You were always into EDM.
Yeah, when I first started DJing, yeah, that's true. When I first started DJing, besides seeing DJ Eddie Boy on the cruise, I would be obsessed with.
It's so funny they remember
DJ Eddie Boy. I would be obsessed with DJ Blend. You remember DJ Blend?
Yeah, of course. DJ you used to go. This guy would have him. He's
this Mexican dude.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but I wasn't sure if I could say that.
There's nothing wrong. It's just his nationality.
He's a Mexican guy.
He's this Mexican guy, and he's just this high energy dude. And he would wear this Chucky mask, and he would have these turntables, and he would play on Serato, and he would just play dirty Dutch music. So the Afrojack, Moomba, stuff like that. And I would watch him, and I would just be like, dude, this is the fucking sickest music that I ever heard. So that was essentially what I really I loved house music, and then I realized that I wasn't gonna be a young ass kid playing house music in the clubs. The scene was a little bit different, so I eventually swayed.
House wasn't that popular. Tech house wasn't around.
Yeah, no, and then just the big room kind of got really big at the time. But funny is how I learned how to mix, because I never understood the timing.
Dude,
This is classic. This is like my childhood.
Yeah, this is like exactly what got me in. Like,
so it's funny because when I first started DJing, I never understood, like, okay, I would watch him and I would see that he would let go of this record, like, as this one was playing, and then it would time perfectly the transition, and I couldn't understand, like, how is it timing out perfectly? You know, like, I just didn't grasp the concept of, like, counting the beats. And, like, what I would do is I would watch, like, okay, at what part of the song is he, like, letting go of the record? And then, like, I would just replicate that on, like, my little Newmark mix track. And then, like, eventually that's how I learned how to, like, you know, mix in the phrases.
Yeah, time is the single most important thing about mixing, right? How do you deal with that?
Well, with the hip-hop stuff, like, if you're not really having intro, outro, and even some intro outro, like you just gotta know the record. You gotta know, like, you know, when does the vocal start. You some records you might like bring it in on like the clap or like the snare or something like that. With the hip hop, with house music, it's just like, you know, everything is pretty much just the phrasing. Like, you know.
Did you use cue points?
No,
you don't.
I mean, so I use cue points for if I need to jump around in a record. I don't use cue points as mental notes to mix in or mix out. I honestly think mixing EDM and house music is like a mindless activity. I mean, it's so easy, dude.
It is.
As long as you have a proper like intro, outro, which also not many people know, extended mixes are a thing. You know, like there's so many times where I'll like be just curiously looking through like a support DJ's lineup, or they'll go on after me and like they click the record and then they click up their next record and it's like the radio edits. They're all radio mixes. I'm like, guys, extended mixes are a thing for a reason, right? Yeah. And you don't, it doesn't need to be a 7-minute extended mix. It could be an extended quick, you know, like quick mixes on DJ pools.
Like even 8 bars intro, just enough,
just something. You need something. You can't just, I mean, unless it's a slam edit where like Progressive House used to do this all the time. You'd have a build up, you have a drop, and then you have a sub drop, and then like 4 to 8 bars of like silence, you know, it's like shh. You know, then you can play the next record. You slam the next record in, but you can't mix, really. You know. But anyways, back to my point. You guys, I don't need to explain this to you guys. You know this. But putting extended mixes and beat matching and cutting the low end and flipping the low end and changing the frequencies is really easy. That's why the 3 of us have blacked out drunk and done it successfully. Like, It's not rocket science. Song selection and when to play that song at what time is the art of DJing.
Yes.
If you mix 2 records, that doesn't make you a DJ. That makes you have a brain. Because it's not a difficult, like, we'd be lying to each other.
You could just click sync.
You'd be surprised. So many people still don't know how to do that well.
It just takes practice. But, I mean, I think the really difficult thing is having the ear. Yep. That's what makes it. I mean, there's so many times, and it's a running joke because, do I send the TikToks to you, the beginner DJ TikToks?
Nah, but you should, or you might. We have so many memes in the group chat; it's like unreal. So
I send them to one of my friends, Mikey Baronacci. I send them to him all. Like it's a running joke between I think me and a few other Riggy Piros and a bunch of other DJ friends. And this is not to knock anybody. I don't want to. I'm not saying that this is, and it meant to be an insult. We all started off somewhere. We all did shit that sounds like shit. My problem is when these people go on TikTok or they go on Reels, they go, I'm a DJ now, I just bought my controller, and they fucking do the worst transition, the worst mashup, the worst mix I've ever heard in my life, and it gets 350,000 likes and 2 million views, and the comments are like, you fucking got this, you got this, and here I am like a fucking asshole spending 2 months working on this kick of a fucking record, right? And
it's fucked. There was one guy, I think you sent it in the group chat. He was mixing like this, like it's like an Ed Sheeran record with like Rumble by like Fred again, and like the comments would be like, this guy could mix like water and oil, like, you know what I mean? It's like they all gas him up in the comments.
It's crazy. I mean, you scroll down this, I'm talking the worst transitions I've ever heard in my life. 400,000 likes, 500,000 likes.
Well, how do you leverage social media then? Right.
It's tough, man, and I think about it often because I get frustrated with social media quite a bit because when we started, and you as well, that wasn't a thing.
No.
TikTok didn't exist. Musical.ly existed, but when I think about Musical.ly, I think about like my 12-year-old cousin.
Yeah, Vine existed, but that was more for like funny videos and shit. Nobody was promoting themselves.
Right? Yeah, it's this whole new thing, and just the way the music industry is now is put it on social media. If it works, then as a record label, put it on social media. If it works, then we'll sign the record. It used to not be like that. It used to be like, this is a great record. We're going to push the fuck out of your record. Now it's, You push the record. When you already have momentum, then we'll take it from you. And that's not just EDM and dance music. That's every genre. Pop especially. You know, put out a record. If it gets momentum on social media, we're going to take it. If it doesn't get momentum, then it's not going to hit anyways. And sometimes you just get fucked on the algorithm. Does that mean that your record's shit? No. But that's why if you're going to release a record, you have to have 30 unique content ideas for the one record. You have to push your record 30 times.
Explain that. That's a new concept to me.
Yeah, so the number is, and we talk about it. So I'm starting a new side project, just a passion project, but you know, it's really strong. It's not to EDM, but it's like a band. Okay. But we're talking with our managers, and one of our managers is the head A&R of one of the big major record labels, and he explained it to me. He's like, you need 15 to 30 pieces of content, 15 to 30 TikToks, 15 to 30 Reels, in order for your record to pop. And that's not even guaranteed. That's just the minimum required to get momentum on your record. And that's why when you look at, my phone's over there now, but when you look at these people that are having success on Instagram, you scroll through it, it's the same song 30 fucking times. It's just the same song. Different content ideas. You know, it's going to be like me sitting outside of my laptop going like, you found Fred again, now you found me. And then it's going to be one in the studio, and it's going to be like, just made the hit of the summer. You know, like you have to have like 30, and I think it's corny as shit.
It's cringe.
It's cringe, but it works. Will you catch me doing that shit? Probably not, but you know what? I came from a different era, you know? Yeah. I came from the era of good music speaks for itself, and I still believe in that. I still believe good music. You don't see hip-hop artists doing that shit. No. It's a specifically pop and EDM thing. Yeah. Hip-hop guys are not, you know, doing little TikTok dances to their records. Or
pop people, like pop artists, they're heavy on like the TikTok stuff. Yeah. But a lot of these people who like unfortunately are like succumbing to making the corny TikToks, like, you know, they have really good music. You know what I mean? And it makes you think like, if, you know, they're not gonna have a machine, so to say, that is a record label kind of getting behind it, and like if they're not, you know, blasting out these content on social media, like nobody would ever really hear this stuff, and like they're super talented artists. And
I just keep thinking like how many talented like musicians or how many tracks that are actually good are not getting heard.
Dude, so many of them.
So, dude, I think about this all the time. I don't want to name them because I don't want to be insulting, but I have so many friends that, you know, we have mutual friends of that are so talented, and I'm watching like people just surpass them. I mean, like with way less quality of work, and it's frustrating, you know, and you got kids that are, you know, again, not to name names, but like they just started DJing last year, and now they're playing massive shows. And is it because they're great DJs? No. It's because they sat in front of a fucking iPhone and they made a bunch of content and they got lucky, you know. And it's I hate that. I personally
think about content now. But
so content's my new thing, right? Because I've been really stressed out about content because I don't like to do content. But now I'm just sitting here and I'm doing like 2 to 4 content, you know, reels, pictures a week, and that's my new. I started this week, so don't, you know. I just started it this week, but like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 2 to 4 posts a week, and that's just from what I've heard from A&Rs and labels and managers and other artists. Like, you need to stay active on social media, and you need to stop giving a fuck about how many likes you get. Some likes I get 5. Some posts I get 5,000 likes. Some posts I get 1,000 likes. Some likes I get 800 likes. You know.
Got it. Just gotta keep doing it.
Just keep fucking doing it. Stop worrying about the likes. Just keep shitting the content out. And I've seen it specifically on the Azure page, right? My company's, my party imprints Instagram page. One will get 50,000 likes. The other one's gonna get 200 likes.
Yep.
It's just how the algorithm works. It doesn't mean that you suck. It doesn't mean that your followers hate you. It doesn't mean that anything. It just means that specific piece, whether it's a time you posted or what it is,
this kind of stuff.
Just didn't happen, you know, and that's okay. Post it again. Post a different version of it, you know. There was a time I posted a video of me playing the roof. I thought it was a great video. Got 1,000 likes. I was like, fuck that. Like, this sucks. 2 months later, I uploaded it again. 500,000 likes.
Oh, shit.
On TikTok, swear to God. And it's just because you get lucky. You know, the right hashtag, the right geolocation.
The right timing sometimes. I posted something like the other day. It's a great content, but it happened that the weather's super nice that day, so people are outside now using the phone.
Yeah,
stuff like
100%.
that.
You
So
have to
many
be conscious of that shit. You know what I mean?
That's all right. Just keep doing it.
You know, whether you're posting, all right, well, when's the best time, right? Because, you know, you have a day job, you know?
Yeah, I do.
So I don't, right? You don't. And we wake up early. You and I are always up 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So then we're like, I have my content done. I have my content piece ready to post. Can I post at 9 o'clock in the morning? Well, no, everybody else that has a day job is at work right now. And those that don't have a day job are hungover because they're probably partying the night before, you know?
Yeah.
So then you're like sitting there trying to go, okay, well, is noon a good time? Or people take lunch? Do they go on their phones? Like, when is a good time to post? For me, I always thought noon and 8 p.m. You know, those are like my 2 times to post.
Gotcha.
But I posted a reel at like 9:30 in the morning. I was like, oh, people are going to wake up and see it. No, fucking tanked, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really discouraging when that shit happens, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I try not to let a lot of shit bother. Oh, I don't let a lot of shit bother me. I let a lot of shit fucking fly by my head, and I don't give a fuck. But like, when I post something like this is sick, and it gets like no fucking like, you know, it gets like a third of the likes that I should have gotten. I'm like, fuck, you know.
Definitely don't post on the weekends. That's how I learned, right?
That's something that's interesting, right? Because when I promote my events, you know, my shows that I'm playing, I'm like, oh guys, if I post, hey, tonight I'm in New York City. My views are significantly lower than on Monday when I say, hey, on Saturday I'm in New York City. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just everybody's posting.
No. Yeah, people are posting, and then also like people are outside
doing things.
They're not bored. So that's why I did.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's my logic.
Yeah, it's tough, man. The whole game has changed to just content. You know?
Yeah. Do you think AI gonna fucking do something?
I hope. I'm a big AI fan.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, even just like with like James Hype just posted a video, and I know.
Yeah, I don't like James Hype, but I don't even care if I'm announcing that on this podcast. I think I posted it on my story. I really don't like James Hype.
Well, I don't.
He's just, you finish, and then I'll get into my James Hype.
Like in his new track, he sampled a track "Wild" by Jodeci, and he pretty much showed like you know, if he would have just ripped the acapella from Jodeci, it would have never been able to get released. But there was this website, I think it was called like 11 Labs or something like that, where you just upload the original acapella, and it'll literally just spit you out an AI acapella. You could choose like 500 different vocalists, and then now you could just use that, which I didn't know that you could do that. So it's like you could just grab any song, get the same melody.
Like a re-sing?
A re-sing, yeah, and you didn't have to, and you don't need to get no clearance for it.
No shit.
Of the master, which I didn't know. I thought that you at least would have had to get some sort of clearance because like the melody, a cover clearance. But in this video, he explains it that because it's an AI vocal or however the hell it works, you don't need to get a clearance for it. So it's like this opens up like a whole new world where it's like, you know, you could grab like an old track, just spit the acapella through the AI, and now you could create your own original, which essentially would have to be an edit. You know what I mean, like an edit, but you could create an original with it now, which is which is crazy. But it's sick, honestly. Like there's so much, like what I was telling you with like Easy Pod, like, you know, just the AI is crazy.
I have to use Easy Pod. Like, I'm not fun to sit there.
The other one that I had was Summer Rae. Forgot about that. The girl, the influencer, which we could talk about influencer DJs because that drives me nuts. But the girl,
where is it?
It was at Hyde Beach.
Okay.
Right? And she was off, I was off, and I just wanted to like, you know, go up and introduce myself. It's like, yeah, you know, I heard you're DJing now. Just like if you need anything, a casual, normal conversation, right? And she goes out there, she goes, just hurry up and ask you for the picture already.
No way.
Swear to God. And I look at her and go, you think I want a fucking picture with you? I swear to God, I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? I go, I don't want a fucking picture with you. I'm not a fan of you. I don't give a fuck about you. Like, I'm trying to be a nice person to you.
Have a conversation.
Because, like, I got introduced to her through, like, another industry person. Oh, you know, whatever. She goes, hurry up and ask for a picture? Fuck you. Fuck you. And you could leave that name in. Fuck that. Fucking ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous. That's so insane. Rude, dude. That's such a rude thing to say to me.
Did you hear her play?
Yeah, terrible. And it's funny because, like, she'll be DJing. Like, let's pretend like the left arm's her. And then you got somebody, like, reach around the back and, like, fix a knob or something.
No way. That's like a Paris Hilton thing. You ever see that? Like, with Paris Hilton, like, there's, like, a guy, you know.
Yeah, that's the same thing. It's like the influencer DJ thing is really nuts to me.
Yeah, the club should know better than, you know, just booking for.
I mean, look, there's a few James Kennedy, Pauly D, you know, Brody Jenner, who's not really an influencer. I think Brody Jenner's a musician in my opinion, but you know, it's not his He was born into a influential family, but he is a musician. They're great, and they're DJs. You know
James
what I mean?
Kennedy, right? His energy is unreal.
Unreal. The great performers.
So entertaining, right?
And Paulie D is the best DJ I've ever heard in my life. And I'll take that as a grade. Yeah, I swear to God. Paulie D, the nicest guy I've ever met in my life.
He's nice. Yep.
Sweetheart. He's the best, right? And the best DJ. First of all, his mic work. Have you seen him play?
Nah.
His mic work is impeccable.
Right.
The way he speaks to a crowd, the way he's so like, dude, he just says the best things. He's got the best energy. And the way the crowd lights up when they see Paulie D.
Oh, right.
Is insane to me.
Yeah, I saw the marquee videos. It was unreal.
Nuts.
But he's actually a good DJ. Like,
fantastic.
What does he play open format?
Everything.
But he was DJing before he was even like a celebrity. Like, he was just a DJ. So it's not like he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a DJ now because I'm famous. He was just already a DJ. So
yeah, exactly. He and I think that's a big misconception because like, I'm not gonna lie. So me and Paulie have the same manager or agent.
Oh.
And James Kennedy, we all actually have the same guy. Maybe I'm an influencer, I didn't realize it. No, but it's when I went into seeing Paulie, I saw him for the first time at Story, and I was thinking, this guy's gonna be an asshole. You know, he's on TV, he's like the hot shot on the show, like he's gonna be. And I grew up watching him. He's gonna be a dick, and he's gonna suck at DJing. And I walk in, and he smiles. He's like, yo, I love your edits. I play your shit all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. You know, he's like, I love what you do, whatever. And then he goes to play and he shouts me out on the mic. This is the first time I ever met him. Shouts me out on the mic. He's like, yo, Luke Alexander, fucking legend, you know? And he played the best set I've ever heard. Best open format set I've ever heard. He was playing techno, he was playing hip hop, he was playing Spanish, he was playing EDM, tech house, everything. And I was blown away, and I became like such a big Paulie D fan after that.
Hey, speaking of the edits, I play your edits too, right?
Thank you.
And Enjo that you always...
Ango? Yeah. That's my buddy from Dallas. So Ango used to be the in-house. I might fuck this up. DJ City or one of the other DJ pools. He was the in-house edit maker. So when you would have like DJ City edit, that was his stuff. Or I don't know if it's DJ City. It was one of them. Ango is very talented DJ. And I think Dallas in general has so many talented DJs.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Carlisle, Ango, Nero. There's a bunch of really great DJs in Dallas, Texas. I actually think Dallas is like going to be the next big city. I think Dallas is, first of all, it's a central location. It's easy to get to from everywhere. Yeah. And it's got such a good nightlife. Like,
Elon Musk moved there?
I think everybody went to Texas, you know, either Austin or Dallas.
It's so cheap to live there.
Like, it is.
There's no tax.
And there's no tax. Same like Florida, same like Nevada.
Do you register yours in Florida?
Florida, yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. I wish you could, huh?
Next year. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
What are you doing these days? Like DJing less, but you're trying to get back
literally just working on music. That's really it. I just put out like a edit to Turn My Swag On by Soulja Boy like a few days ago. I sent it to Luke like a few weeks ago. He was like, it's fire. So.
Yeah, he's a dick for that one. I was like, yo, I'll work on this with you. And then last night, was it last night?
It was like it was Thursday night. I was on my rooftop and like I was working on it, and I was like, Luke, I was like, I'm so emotionally invested into this.
I'm not doing it with you.
I was like, I have to fucking release it tomorrow. I was like, my bad. And he was like, oh, it's fine.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I think what's really cool is when you have friends that, you know, with other DJs and producers, and you guys are able to like share your projects and be like, yo, I would love to hop on that one. And they're like, yeah, because that's when like you make some really good shit happen.
Yeah.
100%. I work a lot with the guys, Lucky Rose from Canada. They're great. They're signed to Ultra, and I mean, it's just great to like. I started a remix. I sent it to them. They're like, we love the remix, so we do it with you. And then they sent me a remix. And I was like, I love the remix. I do it with you. And the same thing with Angelo, the kid.
Angelo, the kid from Charlotte, that one.
He's from Jersey, but he lives in Charlotte. Yeah, he does the Trio Charlotte stuff. Yeah, he's.
You played there before?
I have. Trio. That's a very fun room. There's two trios. There's Charlotte and Charleston, and both of them are very fun. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many great clubs and great markets in this country that I think people stay hyper focused on the big ones. And I'm talking about like people that are not huge acts. I'm talking like mid-tier acts and local acts that like. I had this conversation with one of my local New York friends, DJ friends, and I'm like, yo, what's the next step as an open format DJ for you? What is your next step in life? And how are you going to get out of New York? You know, because he plays every night at the hottest clubs. You know, Michael Simpson.
Okay.
He plays every night at the hottest clubs, and I'm like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, I'm gonna get into production, start producing hip hop records and pop records. And I'm like, yeah, that's because you kind of get to a point where it's like, what can I do to get to the next level? And you have two options: make a hit record or release some great content. Yep. And ideally, you want both. You know, and Petie with the Mind Project really did well with the content.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do that. Literally, like, you know, like I showed you, I would just like wear this like white. Essentially, the whole idea was to just be like a funny mime. You know what I mean? That was also a DJ. But yeah, no, we just would walk around the city and just, you know, fuck around with people and get their reactions and stuff like that. And it worked. You know.
Yeah. For me, I think it's too late for me to get into producing. So my approach is, you know, to teach people how to DJ.
I don't think it's too late. Huh? I don't think it's too late.
I don't think it's too late.
No?
Never too late.
Maybe
that's an excuse. That's an excuse. I used to make
I'm just not musically talented. I don't even read notes. Like,
you don't need to.
I don't need to.
I don't fucking know how to fucking play the piano. Dude, I can play with one hand. I can't play with two hands. All it is just you go into Ableton.
Ears.
Huh?
Good
ears, right? You just not be an idiot. YouTube tutorials, right?
Okay.
Use your ears. Be your harshest critic. Because if you sit there and you're like, I mean, I used to do this all the time, right? I remember when I first opened up Logic before I was on Ableton. I put a kick drum and put a synth, and that was it, and a snare build, right? And it sounded like shit, and I realized it sounded like shit, and I compared it to like, okay, at the time Martin Garrix's Animals was big, so it was like, why does this not sound like Animals? And I didn't realize I'm missing all the top drums, I'm missing the bass line, I'm missing this, I'm missing all these aspects. A lot of the time, what I'm noticing now is people start producing, and they just want to put shit out. Right. And they just put shit out, and they put shit out, and it doesn't sound good. You can't do that. There's no rush. It's not a race. The music industry is not a race. You know, just take your time, be a harsh critic to yourself, and make sure that it sounds as good as you can get it. You know, and if you can't get it, there's no problem with sending it to somebody to finish it for you.
Right,
master it, mix it. But even if you just need like a finisher, like, you know, and people don't talk about this in the industry, but like a lot of the time, and I know tons of producers that do this, they'll make a record and they'll get it 80% there, and then they'll ship it off to somebody. And that's why if you click on Spotify, song credits, there's fucking 15 producers on a record.
Always check them.
Yeah, you think that guy made it alone? There's 15 fucking producers on it.
Every time I hear a really good record, I'm just like, there's no way one fucking guy made this. And like, I look and sure enough, it's like 6 producers. I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah, like, but then you look at, like, you Google the names, it's like Max Martin. Who's Max Martin? It's like behind Justin Bieber, Zed, whatever. And like, there's a big crossover between pop producers and EDM producers. And Zed produces for Justin Bieber. You know, he did that Beauty and a Beat. You know, that's
I didn't know that.
You know, that Beauty. That's Zed. I mean, there's a ton of records where like you'll sit there and you listen to the record and you're like, that sounds like a Cascade production, or that sounds like a, you know, Sesquo did For You with David Guetta and Justin Bieber. You know that song, When It Comes.
Probably if I hear it.
It's old. But Sesquo did that, and Sesquo was on Barong Family, I think. You know, that was his label, and you know, there's
that's okay. I know. I always saw his name. I never knew it was pronounced that way.
I could be butchering it.
I don't even know. It was just
I don't know. Half the time with these French names and foreign names, I don't fucking know. But
maybe I'll check out how to produce and learn something from you guys.
Yeah. So you go into Ableton, right? You figure out which key, which you just use a reference record. So like, let's say you want to make something like Dom Dalla Miracle Maker or whatever the fuck the name of that, Magic Maker, whatever. Miracle Maker, right? You look at the key and you're like, okay, I like the way that sounds. So you just reference it, right? So you go, okay, so this is the structure, and just at first. And then you click in Ableton, you insert a MIDI, and you click scale, and you select what key you want, and it will highlight the notes that are in key. So then all you need to do is just creative, and get creative with rhythm, get creative with the melody. Yeah. And then you got a record. You don't need to know music there. You just need to have the ear for it.
Oh, speaking of which, John Summit is actually like very like good producer, right?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, fire producer.
Phenomenal.
And also like Calvin Harris, just on the
oh yeah,
level.
he's next level. That
guy,
guy,
I listen to a lot of Ultra set, and he says still the best.
He got shit on for that set, and
just they're stupid.
How fucking ridiculous is that? And that's a funny thing. That's a very funny thing that I'm noticing is happening a lot in New York as well. New York and LA and Miami, right? There's like a anti-commercial wave.
They think they're too cool.
Oh, techno Afro house, techno Afro house. Fucking newsflash for you guys. Techno and Afro house are the commercial sounds anymore. or now, you know what I mean? Right. There's no more EDM. There's no more big room. It's techno and Afro house. And they think that there's some sort of superior. Oh, I'm underground. I play Afro house. It's like, bro, you play Tate McRae remixes over Afro house beats. You're not underground. You're not techno. You know what I mean? Like, the underground and techno is like, it's commercial now. It's all. Don't get me wrong. There's still underground techno, right? Right. But the techno kids nowadays, like the ones that claim to be, that then will also sing along to Taylor Swift, like they're not gonna listen to the underground techno. They're listening to pop techno, commercial techno, and commercial Afro house, and then they claim to be.
I was just like impressed by his set, like all the familiar sound, but also just like rework on so many stuff.
I heard so that. Good. It was a lot of reworks of his old stuff, right?
Yeah. You should check out. It's just amazing. Like
he has like unlimited hits, Calvin Harris. It's just like you'll listen.
Isn't that crazy? Like
you listen to say like, oh, I forgot he made that one. I forgot he made that one. And it's just like the guy's so talented. I mean, he's literally.
And John Summit actually like produced the sound. They just sound well.
And you know what? An important thing is you hear a John Summit record, especially with Where You Are and Shiver, and you're like, that's a John Summit record. Yep. And that's really important nowadays. Something that I struggle with is you need to have a signature sound, where people listen and they go, that's a Luke Alexander record. That's
the Sweet Deposition remake was so good.
Yeah. That was a classic. The biggest artists who are like, doing the biggest, like selling the most tickets, selling out MSG. It's like you could hear their track and be like, all right, that's a Skrillex track, or like that's a Johnson, that's like a Rez track, or like
Tiesto. I mean, Tiesto's got such a signature sound. You know, like you could hear a record, that's Tiesto.
But I was at Martin Garrix the other day, but I was not impressed.
Really?
I was, but the production is good, but the music still sounds like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's my impression. He didn't change much.
Yeah, it's tough. People get stuck in their old ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
maybe he doesn't have to. Maybe he.
Well, he's getting probably $1 million a show, so.
Tech Support is doing so well.
Tech Support's crushing it.
Yeah, they got all the big artists, and they're actually making money, I think.
Yeah. Tech Support is great. There's a really cool wave in New York right now with the dance music scene. Mm-hmm. When we started, we had Pasha and we had Webster Hall.
Yeah, basically. And that was just they were playing just the big room. It was just big room guys who were like dubstep.
We're bouncer dubstep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brooklyn wasn't really. Output was around.
Output, yep. What else?
And Verboten.
House Mirage, you played there, right?
I played Mirage. Mirage is fun. It's a great room. I mean, that's like I played some of the biggest clubs in the world.
But that one
when you walk into that room, like that's like a next level. Like that's a festival. Every day that they're open, they operate it like a festival. There's like 10 A&Rs. There's 10 production people, and like it's like everybody's got radios, and it's like really serious. A lot of the time, like you walk into like the biggest bottle clubs in the world, and like the person's just on their phone, and they're like, "Hey, I'm at the door," and then you walk in, and like there's no like radio. I mean, in Vegas they do that. They have like the headsets, and they're communicating with front of house, but like it's really next level at the Mirage.
They literally have Artist Village. Like they have a whole section that like with like open bar, but it's like essentially like a green room area.
Did you play this?
I did. I closed out for Zed.
Nice.
As when I was playing as mime, so it was right after Zed. I have a crazy story.
Did you have a crowd?
Yeah, it was slammed.
Oh,
it was insane. Yeah, it was literally like I had everyone there till like the very end. Like it was nuts. Nice. And it like we were talking about before is like I just had to come on strong. Like so I was literally just like going on 1001 track lists, like seeing all the type of music that like Zed was playing, which was like all stuff that I wouldn't normally play, but I knew that I had to play that to keep his crowd there, and then I ended up just like crushing it. It was sick. But there was this one funny story about Mirage. I was supposed to close out for DJ Snake's show, and
I remember this.
For some reason, like on the Runner show, he was only supposed to play for an hour. So he was supposed to play from like 1 to 2, or 1 to 2:15, and then I was supposed to play from 2:15 to 4. And like I already knew that was too good to be true. I'm like, there's no way like they're gonna just put me on 2:15 to 4 at Mirage. So, sure enough, like 1:45 comes and I'm in a green room, and then the like liaison comes in. She's like, hey, like Snake wants to play a couple extra couple extra tracks.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, it's a show. Like, what the hell am I going to say? No, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, do you know how long? She's like, no, he doesn't know, probably like 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So, 2:30 comes, and I'm still in there, and I'm texting like, hey, like, any updates? She's like, no, nothing yet. He's still going. So I'm like, all right, fine. 3 a.m. comes. I'm like, all right, screw it. Like, let me like walk to the side of the stage, So he's there, and I had met his manager. I forgot what his name, but I met his manager. I was blacked out. I was at 11 in Miami, and my boy Nicky introduced us, and I was black, and he was like, yo, like, meet this is Snake's manager, because I had done the remix for him. And I remember, like, I shook his hand, and I was like, wait, I was like, who are you? What's your name? Like, but I didn't realize, like, that I was being introduced. So I guess he must have, like, taken offense to that. And when I saw him that day, like, I shook his hand, and I was like, I remember I met you at 11. I was, like, blacked out. I was like, I didn't realize who you were. Like, I asked, like, who you were. And then he gave me, like, this, like, smirk kind of, like, like, all right. So long story short, Snake ends up, like, keep playing. He plays to, like, 3:15. So now the last like 15 minutes, he's just playing hip hop records. Like, he's just blasting like Bobby Shmurda, Young M.A., like Pop Smoke, like all the New York shit. So I'm like, all right, this like the crowd is already just like all over the place. So then probably like 3:20, 3:30, he gets off. I'm like, fuck, I have like 30 minutes to play. He gets off. And then they're, unplugging his turntables, plugging in the CDJs. And then I remember, I'll never forget, his manager looks at me and he smiles. And then he goes to Snake and he goes, go back on, go back on. And he makes him fucking go back on. He makes him go back on for like an encore. They already unplugged his turntables, so now they're plugging everything back in, bro. And he just like gave me this fucking smirk, like almost like he did it on purpose. You know what I mean? And I played for like 8 minutes. To like nobody. I was so mad. I was so disappointed, because I prepared a set as if I was gonna play at 2:15 a.m. for like 6,000 people, but
8 minutes.
I played for like 200 people because somebody had to go on. You know what I mean? Like, they had to have music till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then he just got off, and it was just like, he was like, this motherfucker did that on purpose. I know he did.
I had a funny DJ Snake story too. It wasn't anything like that, but he was supposed to go on at 1. Right, and at there, it's really like liquor license. It's Native American tribe, so there is no, like, they don't have to follow the rules because it's tribe rules. And at a casino, it's 24-hour liquor license. He's supposed to get on 12:30. 12:30 comes around, and they keep playing. Okay, 1:30 goes around, keep playing. 2:30 goes around. He comes in to play, plays for an hour, and like that's it. I played from fucking 11:30 to 2:30, then 3:30 to 5. It just like went basically the whole night, and that guy made.
That's sick though.
It's great. I had a great time. But it got really awkward. It was probably one of the most awkward moments of my life. Is because the crowd started chanting DJ Snake at 2:30.
Oh,
and I was like,
man.
Like, fuck, dude. Like, this guy, like, it's time, and I get it. You know what I mean? You pay to go see DJ Snake. You've been there since 11.
You want to see him.
You want to see DJ Snake.
I have a funny story about like just the open format stuff. I used to DJ these like 18 and over parties that they would do at it's Musica now, but it used to be called Space, and they would book like they had like Tekashi 6ix9ine, which I would like play. They book like Young Thug. So essentially, they would sell the tickets as if it's like a concert, but really what it is like the rappers just showing up at like 3 a.m. and gonna like
playing 5 songs.
So it's like I'm there. I have to entertain this crowd, and I could only entertain them for so long before. Right. It's not like a nightclub where I could just it's like once like 12:30, 1 comes, like everyone's just like this. They're just staring at you. You know what I mean? And they're just like start fucking, they're chanting the guy's name, and I know damn right, like this fuck's not showing up till 2:45.
He's not even in the building, dude.
He's not even. Yeah, who knows? He probably didn't even land yet. You know what I mean? It's like. Oh man, it's just the most awkward.
It's such an awkward thing,
and it's an aggressive crowd.
And you think that like yelling at us is gonna make Tekashi 6ix9ine or TJ Snake pop out of the ground? Like, no, dude. The promoters set that up. Like, that's not on us. Like, why make us feel awkward? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The worst is when the promoter texts you and they're like, say Young Thug's in the building. Like, Young Thug's in the building. Fucking, and then like, an hour and a half passes and like he's still not there. Like, what the fuck happened?
Dude, dirty.
Oh man, dude, it was just like it was the most like uncomfortable feeling. You just have all these like souls just staring at you, like no movement. There was not a song you could play.
That
besides like a fire alarm that would get people to move, you know what I mean? Like it was
that happens a lot with like big headline shows when it just crosses a certain amount of time, they get annoyed and they're just staring at you, you know, especially when like there's a late night one. But I don't know. The thing that really makes me feel uncomfortable is like I'll be jamming out, having a great time playing EDM, playing my songs, my edits. Excuse me, really enjoying playing. And then you get the one asshole with the phone sign.
The worst, bro. The worst humans
Play
of all fucking time.
What I have
Bad
this
Bunny?
week, dude. This
I had
week.
someone requesting Nicki Minaj while I was playing like melodic techno.
Yo, okay. I had somebody request play house music in the middle of my house music set.
It's classic.
Dude.
Classic.
And then that same person, I played it was on my Instagram story and said, like, damn, this chick's had a phone in your face. And it said, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. But I wasn't playing a Juice WRLD record. I was playing an XXX record.
Man.
She dropped the phone shattered. And she held it
Instant
back up, and the
karma.
phone had this
It's like instant. It was literally his spirit saying, like,
Fuck off.
That's not me.
But yeah, man, it's just really distracting. The phone signs are the worst thing. And this is a new thing. The phone signs didn't exist when we were playing Highline Ballroom and Up and Down.
No, you just had delusional people that'll just be like, play reggae, and I'm just like, do you have ears? Like, there's literally reggae
Bro,
playing
come
right
to the
now. What do you mean
wrong
play
club.
reggae?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it's a really discouraging. It's really annoying. It's very annoying.
Tough job to do. You know, the DJ is not
somebody's
easy.
got to do it.
You know, like
somebody's.
there's so many DJs, but there are not enough good DJs. That's my point.
I mean, like I said earlier in this talk, is everybody wants to be DJ. I don't know why. Maybe it's an attention thing. I don't know. I started DJing when nobody wanted to be DJ. I just wanted to do it because I love music. And
I started DJing because I went to a show in Hong Kong. I didn't know anything about DJing or music. I just went because my friends wanted to go. It was Avicii. That's my first show ever. Avicii was my first show.
Wow. You know what's funny? I'm same but different. The first show I ever saw, I didn't attend because I was too young. I was walking with my dad on Governor's Island, and it was 2009 or 10, 9 or 10. Definitely not past 2010. And Avicii was playing Governor's Island Beach Club, and it's a public park, right? So I sat on the outside of it watching Avicii play.
That was an awesome venue. I think they're reopening it this year.
I hope so. I don't know.
They have a couple shows at Governor's Island with some big acts.
Really?
That's happening like May and June. Yeah.
No way.
I don't know if it's in the same area, but it's definitely on Governor's Island.
That
it's
was
definitely
a great venue.
Yeah.
Did you ever go there?
No, never been.
So it was right on the western side of Governor's Island, right?
Yeah, once you
Facing
would get off
Manhattan.
the ferry, when you would get off the ferry, you would like make a right, and it was just like
Right there.
on the
yeah,
water.
and it was right on the water, and it had a huge stage, a huge tent. I gotta find it. I need to pull this up. It was such an incredible, iconic venue, and it sucks that it closed. I think Eddie Dean was doing it, or something. Somebody was.
I think it was like a Pasha, I think it was like a Pasha show.
This is what it looked like back in the day.
Oh, wow.
It was massive. It was really cool.
That was fire.
But imagine not knowing anything at first shows of Avicii, and I was just so blown away, and I started to learn about music and DJing. It was 2012.
Wow.
It's a peak EDM scene. Right? Bro, we talked for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
Has it been 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Like,
good
because-
conversation.
2 hours.
So we
That's
probably
fine.
need part 2. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us. This was
Sure.
very fun.
great
very fun,
conversation.
yeah. We can keep going for another 2 hours. But
I mean, there's definitely. We'll say that for next week, next month, whatever. Yeah, I think that this is great. I
awesome.
really appreciated this. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Thanks. Yeah.
Let's take a picture.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me-